What is up, everybody? Welcome to That Garage Jawn Productions' newest podcast, That Talking Jawn. It is going to be a little bit different than Seriously Unimportant. I'm going to have a host next to me every time. This is going to be Sean Curran's debut as a motherfucking host today.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing, Sean?
I'm all right, man.
And then we have three-time Seriously Unimportant guest and our first guest on That Talking Jawn, Jimi Marrero. How you doing, buddy? What's going on?
Doing good, man.
Yeah.
Came down from the mountain just to see you guys.
Yeah, dude. Oh, we have to get into that soon. Fuck, I can't wait to hear about this shit. Jimmy is a very good friend of mine now, and I've been waiting to hear this story about his soul searching in Maine. You went on a camping trip by yourself, just so we can talk about it fresh on the show. Yeah. I did want to tell you, did you notice we have the couch from the garage in here?
I did. I recognize it here. I got this little guy over here. I think I've been right up over here. I think a couple buddies of ours are over here, right?
Yeah, dude, yeah. A lot of signatures on there.
I heard, how'd you guys get up here? How was that?
Oh, well, that was horrible.
Pain in the ass.
Oh, was it? You motherfucker. So, Sean was absolutely no help
Oh, my God.
whatsoever.
Kind of
dude.
like the Wooder thing? Kind of like
No.
the Wooder? Like you told him to go
Dude,
Yeah.
you and your dad were so keen on getting it up here. We were like, we got it. We're going to do it.
No,
And
all
then
right.
you wanted to
But you were still
fucking
there.
football tackle it right into the goddamn room. You were
Well-
fucking shouldering it. And then you and your dad were back and forth the entire time.
You are telling the story really horribly. 'Cause that's a half-assed way of telling what happened. 'Cause that's not exactly what happened. What happened was
It is.
I really wanted to get this couch up that night. I wanted to get it out of the garage. I wanted to get up here. I wanted to start getting the studio ready, right? So Sean was here, and Carter was actually here earlier that day too,
When he
and
left.
Aunt, and they
Smart
left.
move, by the way.
So we get the couch all the way up here, right? And I could have killed my dad because I'm like, you know what? Let's take this fucking door off first so it can get in.
These are Billy
I
doors are-
he says I measured it. I'm like, you're such a bullshitter. I knew he didn't, but I was just going with it. I shouldn't have. We're trying to get it through the door. We're trying to bash it through that little doorway there. I'm in here. It ends up getting so wedged it's stuck. There's like a space like this about this length.
Get through.
Yeah, to get through at the top. So,
You send your son.
you know, I don't know if you can tell, like, I'm a little heavier, you know what I mean? You know what I was telling my mom? I said my clothes, for some reason, all shrunk. She was talking about my suits. I was like, for some reason, my suits shrunk. I don't know what's going on.
Using hot water. Using too much hot water when you watch.
Anyway, my dad is on the other side. I'm on this side. Sean's out there, too. I'm not doing anything. Maybe you held a door or something.
God.
But my dad crawls through the space, right? He's in the room now. Sean's out there.
Moral
Worst
support.
idea ever because we're in here trying to pull it out. And we're going, Sean, fucking push as hard as you can. Ram into that thing.
And I did.
And you're...
I can see him falling over.
What the fuck? Dude, look at
he
me.
hits it and
What
falls
do you
over.
expect
Yeah,
from
it was
this?
a mistake
I
on
weigh
our
like
part for
110
sure.
Did he go to the
pounds.
hospital?
With like no arm muscle. Like, what do you expect?
We had to use
He's
insurance
ramming
that
into
day.
it,
Use your health insurance.
bouncing off the couch,
I'm
fucking
like,
hitting the wall like a bouncy ball.
I was
What's
it
your
was
deductible?
nothing. It was not
How
doing
much is your
anything, folks.
deductible?
And I'll tell you what, that shit fucking hurt my shoulder.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm like, yeah, cool, Jim. Keep telling me to push into the goddamn thing. I'm not gonna move it anymore. It's not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
I actually thought I was gonna break the whole fucking door
But
frame.
you did get it through. I mean, obviously
I did.
You did.
So he crawled back out. Right. He got back out. He's back out there. He's trying to push. I'm trying to pull again. And I start screaming at him, saying we shouldn't take the door off, and we get into this big argument, right? And he goes,
And then he's-
"Fuck you, I'm leaving," or whatever. I'm like, "You motherfucker, you better not leave. I'm fucking stuck in
What's he do?
here."
He smashes it through.
No, he left, the motherfucker.
he left.
So I'm like, Sean, I'm in here. I'm like, Sean, you motherfucker, go down and get him right now and tell him to come back up. And he's like, no, I don't. What do you mean? What am I?
No, I didn't say that. I said, all right, I'll go. I called him back
I
up.
was in
I
the
said,
pool. It was shrinkage.
I said, Jim, get back up here. And he's like, no.
Yeah,
Fuck
no,
him.
no, no, no.
So
fuck
then I
me.
had to run downstairs into the basement and talk him into coming back upstairs.
Yeah, well, I'm losing my shit up here. I got my fat ass through that fucking little hole up there. Well, he came back in. We were obviously not getting nowhere, so I had to go in, and I'd get back out there and ram it through. That was the only way it was getting in.
That's it.
I get my fat ass through there. I don't know how the fuck I did it. Got through. What? I rammed it like fucking 16 times.
Like 20
Fucked
times.
up my shoulder and the
Feels
fucking
good.
thing.
Man. Listen, I appreciate all. I can feel on the hard work that went into it. It's nice and soft. It's like a piece of meat. It tenderized the couch. The couch is
But
nice
it was
and
well
tenderized.
worth it. It was well
You
worth
look comfortable.
Thank you.
Carter,
I'm enjoying this.
It's well worth it.
I could just use a couple more things. I mean,
Carter, what'd you say he looked like over there?
voyeur room. Yeah.
I said it looks like the casting couch.
The casting.
I can see why.
Sean,
It's
go
like,
over
I
and
can
fuck
see-
'em.
yeah. Wait.
I will not. I will not.
So, it got in. I broke the door frame only a little bit, and I put a screw in there. It's all good. Couch is in here. Studio set up. New fucking show.
Woo!
It sucks, everybody. We can't really see Carter's
work.
pretty face right now. In the future,
He's over, he's over there. He's over there.
Carter is really the tech fucking producer now. He is behind the scenes. Hopefully in the future he's going to be in a camera view so we can see his pretty face sometimes. I can still see him.
Casting
I
couch.
love
we
you,
all,
buddy.
we all,
Casting
we
couch
love you,
calls us
buddy.
all, Carter. The
Thank
casting
you
couch
for
calls
making
us all.
look pretty. All right, there you go.
So, Jimmy, the moment of truth right here. I've been waiting for this shit. What the fuck, dude? I remember Sean, he texts me, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, Jim, you want to come on the show, like one of our first new episodes?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, I might need like a week to recover. I'm like, from what? I'm going to Maine. I thought it was like a family trip, like they're renting a cabin. Nah, by himself to Soul Search.
Yeah.
So, tell us what that means, buddy. I can't wait to hear.
So,
please,
well,
please enlighten
So
us.
first, you go looking for answers, you're going to get them.
Yeah.
If you go looking for answers, you're going to get them. And a little Star Wars for you. What's it? Reading the prophecy wrong could be a big mistake, right? That's the whole idea there. So the idea is about thoughts, right? So I'm going to even before this. So like you were saying, I was having like a rough week, but before this, I figured out, this is before the turn of the year, about how important the thoughts are, right? So I'm coming home one night from work, and I had a good day, and I was on the road for probably about an hour and a half each way, probably about an hour with the client. So I'm coming back home wearing my suit and tie, and you guys know I have kids. I got 3 kids. I got an excited dog, and they're just like me, all energetic, right? So
Yeah,
I'm walking,
yeah, they are.
I'm walking,
They're little mini Jimmies.
and it's like they're like these spark plugs, right? And I just have this day, and I'm like, I want to go home and I want to relax. I want to kind of get a smack in the face a little bit and kind of chill out. It's like the first thing you want to do, and it's weird how your thoughts work. So I had this experience. I go and I hit the. You can feel that when my key touches the door, the dog goes, and then the kids go, and they're all up, and they're like, because they're so
They're like
excited. And this is a great thing.
You're acting like it's a horror movie,
Right,
dude.
but here's the dilemma, right?
He came
So-
home and the kids were awake.
and they were excited, and it's cool, but I had a long day, and it's like when you're what I realized is I was like, oh, I'm tired, I want to go get that smack, I want to relax, and right from there, my thought tells my brain something, and then my brain is a beautiful chemicals factory, and all of a sudden, it shoots a certain
My
type of
brain is a beautiful chemical
It's great.
factory.
because as soon as you think of
That it
something,
is.
your brain then tells your body to react, right? So I was like, now it all starts with that. Now I figured out that if I had to decide, it's all about the choice. It's all about the thought. The difference between going, and then walking through that door when your kids are trying to eat you up because they love you, and the dog's trying to eat up because you love you, and you're tired, and there becomes that conflict. And it makes your body do funny things, and it goes from one thing to the other. However,
You're making it seem like all this love is going to make you fucking go crazy.
but it's a choice. But you're right, it is. It's a good thing, but it's a choice. So then I realized that if I can actually match their energy and say, at least for the 10, 15 minutes, and go up there and be like, you know what, I'm going to be as excited as they are, even though I'm tired, even though I've been on the road and it's tough. I'm even thinking about it right now, and all of a sudden my eyeballs are popping out of my head, right? So right there, I'm going to match their energy in +1, right? So you whoever you're dealing with, life is like this game of tennis. Right? Relationships are like, if you're having a conversation with someone, you hit the ball real nice, and the person hits it back to you, and you're having a good time, or the person's like, I'm not really interested in it. Like hit the ball over your head, or they smack it down. They're not really playing the game with you. And so it's kind of like that. And it all starts with the choice. And like sometimes you're dealing with someone, you're on the phone, and you're like, or even in a person, you're like, you obviously don't want to have this conversation. I'm out. You're done playing the game. If you hit the ball over my head twice, you're obviously not interested in playing.
Yeah,
so
it's
I'm
going
out.
overboard.
Yeah, exactly. So same thing going inside the house. So I match the kids, right? And all of a sudden I'm going to have a better experience from there. Again, the thought starts, and then the brain moves and sparks, and then it squirts out these chemicals, and all of a sudden I get excited. So here's the difference. Even now, from the time that we started, and now you can even see a little bit more of that, just that thought of doing it. It's a choice. Like the way I explain it is like, remember those little things back in the 80s where you'd push the button and the slide would go, right? And it would be a different frame. And it's like all these personalities and choices that I get to think about when I walk through that door. And when my key hits that keyhole, it's either, no, I don't want that one. You know what I mean? So I got to choose which way I react, because from there, it dictates how I walk through that door. It dictates how my relationship is with my kids. And again, it starts with the thought.
How the rest of the night's going to go,
right.
too. Yeah.
And then they'll let me go, too. I just got to give them up 15 minutes. Then I can go do what I got to do. But again, it starts with the thought. Thought hits your brain. Brain squirts out some chemicals in your body, reacts from that. And that's the process. One of the questions I would ask people is like, and Carter, you might get on this, is like, do you think, I asked a real smart buddy of mine, I said, do you think, consciousness exists first, or do you think, matter exists first? Which one comes first? Does your brain turn on once your body's here, or does something start before that? So what happens first? So anyway,
if you want the technical answer, consciousness starts later.
Really interesting. I would disagree. I'm glad that
actually not.
This is good.
You're actually not.
I would disagree too.
You're not a conscious person.
That's a hard one.
Until about 4 or 5.
Right. Well, yeah.
That's
I don't
that's
agree
when
with that,
actual
but
consciousness
starts
to come in, because that's when children start to realize that they're part of more. It's not just them and who's around.
Well,
they're part of a group.
So interesting. A way I would think of it actually is
That's clinical proven psychology, by the way.
Yeah, but that's what they say. See, that's what they say. I don't know.
Science.
But here's what I think about it. But here's my thought. Right again. So we can talk about that, because too, science is not the truth. Science is the shadow of the truth trying to explain it. We're not. That's what science is. Anyway, in my opinion. But going back to what you're saying is, in my opinion, coming out of the womb, you're coming from source. So you take the first, like you were saying, 4 to 7 years to unlearn where you just came from, because you just came from somewhere. And now you're getting acclimated to this world. And science will say that there's, as kids, you have this oceanic view, which is when you first come out, you see everything as one thing. It's hard to differentiate depth perception. So and then you unlearn those things. That's why we don't remember birth and things like that, or what could possibly have happened before that, because now we're grounded here in this world, and we're not giving our body to actually even acclimate. So it's even slower of a forgetting and a new learning process.
Jim, to interrupt you real quick, do you think, I have heard of people that claim they do remember being in their mother's stomach, and they remember birth and all that other shit. I wonder if that is.
Well, there's
that's true.
How is that
there's an
possible
article
at all?
here. There's actually an article right here I just pulled up that says the cortex, the epicenter of human consciousness, starts to form by 6 months gestation.
That's in
Wow.
that's in the womb then.
That's in utero. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
people
that's
That's insane.
people
dude.
can technically, I guess, if they.
And again, that's the
It'd be
shadow
very
of the
rare, but
science.
it's
That's what
possible.
that's what we're saying right
You know?
now. That's what
Yeah,
we
that's
say.
insane
I mean,
shit
again,
right
what do we
there.
really know? And I mean, I don't know that. If I would have to believe that person
Yeah.
because I don't know
Yeah.
that. There's a difference between thinking, knowing, and believing. He's saying something. Well, I'd have to believe that. I don't necessarily think that. I can conclude to that, but I'd be believing it because I didn't think of it myself.
Now, humans
not
begin
my
to
fault.
think in words and abstract concepts around age 3, and are forming strong memories by that time.
Okay,
Not
you
my
see,
kids.
I don't.
Wow.
I don't remember anything from when I was
Wow.
3 years old.
No.
I think the earliest memory I have is probably like 6.
I think mine would be
6,
about
7.
Mine would be about 5, maybe 4.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I have a memory from 3.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
What
know.
about you, Jim?
Nah, I can't really.
No.
I'm weird like that. It's, Heather always makes fun of me because I don't know where I flew in when I went to Italy. I don't know. I wasn't fucking flying, man. I was in the back seat. I don't know.
The air.
Yeah, she was like, well, how did you not know what airport you fly? I wasn't
Dude.
flying.
Dude,
I wasn't in
remember-
control at that time.
Dude,
so.
I remember the first time I flew as a kid. It was like when I flew to Disney World. I think we were going on like some sort of like cruise.
Okay.
Oh my god, dude! I felt like my parents were like, "Here." Once my ears started popping, I didn't know what to think because that was the first time that's ever happened to me. And they were
Yeah.
like, "Here, eat some peanuts. Here, drink some juice." I was out like a light with.
What they put in that juice?
I don't fucking know. I don't, they didn't drug me. But
vodka grape.
Yeah. Here, Sean, have the vodka and grape
Yeah,
with a hint of
right.
Xanax.
Get me started.
Shut the fuck up.
But dude, that shit was crazy. I'll admit. Yeah.
I remember my first time flying. I loved it, but since then, I flying is a little unsettling for me. I don't.
I'll admit.
It's
yeah,
not.
me
I'm
too.
not afraid of flying, but I do like to sleep. You know, take a little helper and sleep.
Yeah.
I do
like
get
that.
I do get
Little flight
anxiety
helper.
on the plane.
That's
I
great.
feel you. I feel you.
But
know.
we're getting really sidetracked here.
Deep in the darkness, there is a light you can find when you're falling. You are falling down, you are broke your knee. Guess who is calling? He is calling down, he pulls your strings. No longer does your destiny run your race. Take you down so much farther. Take you down to the sand. Hold your head underwater. Tell me now, how can you breathe? How can you deep water, Father, deep heart to truth, and you'll see that your problem, those tracks are back to your, and you're the shaman, the chameleon and the thief. Your pardon has come back to the bed. Take you down so much farther. Take you down to the sand. Hold your head underwater. Tell me now, how can you breathe? How can you I wouldn't believe your own TV. It's not free for you to see. You pay attention to that need. Trade your perception like a free. Now you're wrong. I can take you down so much farther. Take you down to safety. Hold your head far underwater. Tell me now, how can you breathe? How can you breathe? How can you breathe? How can you breathe with me? Yeah, so going up to the mountain, right?
Yeah, so most people from Philadelphia, from South Jersey to Maine, it's about 8.5 hours, right? How long did it take in Jimmy time?
6:45. 6:45. Yeah, I was doing the cannonball run. It was for the first time in geez, I haven't gone snowboarding in about 6 years, but one of the interesting things was that like I haven't been by myself for that period of time. And it's so funny. You know, I'm 40 now, but moving the way I used to move, it was really crazy how fast it came back and like how like
Oh, so you did go snowboarding?
Oh
while you were
yeah,
up
like
there. Okay.
everything, but just moving without anyone. How fast I could move. You know, I exert so much energy, joules, I guess you would call it, but I didn't realize how much energy I exert on other things. And now, when it was just me, focusing on me.
You don't get creeped out like. I'll tell you what. I start to get creeped out a little bit if I'm completely by myself for like more than a day.
It was great. I tell you, it was.
You
I
were
was never alone.
almost a week, right? Like 5
yeah, I
5 days.
I went
right?
Tuesday, came back Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you really enjoyed it. You really enjoyed
It was
the alone
great.
time.
I was alone. I got some alone time, but then I was also I met so many people, so many
Yeah.
experiences. It's so interesting how people hugging it out. People I just met.
Yeah.
Dude hooked me up. Gave me a forever joint or something like that. It was crazy. It was great. The dude that built the bar at the one
Oh,
lodge.
shit.
It was crazy. Yeah, and I met him. He was showing me his horses, all kinds of stuff, dude. It was
Wow,
nuts,
cool, man.
Yeah.
pretty dope.
What part of Maine were you in?
Oh, I went to Bethel, which
Bethel?
is it's supposed to be like an old town.
I've never even heard of Bethel.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's I didn't, and it's interesting because the reason why.
So it's like an hour inside of Maine. When
yeah,
you,
about an hour
okay,
15
yeah.
minutes. Yeah. Once you
Okay.
once you start going up to the mountain, it was about an hour up to the mountain.
Okay, so you got to Bethel in 6:45, or did you get into Maine in 6?
No. I got to the hotel
Yeah, so that's
in 6 hours 45 minutes. Yeah.
Bethel. Like if Bethel's an hour and 50 minutes outside of when you first get into Maine, I mean,
Yeah, it's Sunday River.
then
yeah.
it would take about a normal person like 9.5.
Normal
nine,
person.
I was gonna do
9:45.
it.
The
I wouldn't
GPS
be able to do
said
it.
like 7:45. 7:45. The GPS did,
Well,
and I went during the daytime. I actually left at 11.
you wouldn't be able to do it, Sean. I'll tell you
Nah, I
what.
couldn't.
Jimmy, I know we might have talked about this in Seriously Unimportant, but whatever. New show, motherfuckers. Jimmy, when we were coming home from Manhattan the
New
one
York,
time,
Record run, man.
I was like, number one, your car drive is really smooth. You and that fucking white Cadillac.
Yeah, man, it's got the fat tires, man. It's got
White
the fat
daddy.
tires. I feel more comfortable moving
I
that
mean,
speed.
I
with fat
remember like
tires.
dozing off a little bit. Did I fall asleep? Do you remember me? Did I actually fall asleep?
I can't remember. I know we
Yeah,
shaved about 20
You would
minutes.
remember me snoring.
We shaved about. I don't think we were moving.
Yeah.
We had
I
breakfast.
remember
We
being
had
very
breakfast.
comfortable, though.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
flying.
We had breakfast in Jersey City. That place is pretty good.
Yeah, it was nice.
But yeah, sidetrack again. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
Jimmy
I-
drives very fast.
I retract my
Well, Sean, real quick,
statement.
he got from New York City to Philly in what fucking record time.
It was.
I couldn't believe it.
We saved
Like
about
a
20
half hour?
minutes.
It's
Nah,
fucking-
it was like an
yeah,
hour.
we saved
and
like a half hour,
It was.
dude.
It was.
Yeah.
We got like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
There was no one on the road. It was
Christ.
great. It was like during the middle of the day too.
yeah.
Perfect visibility, great conditions.
Fucking
Wasn't
nuts.
wet, and we were fed.
One wrong turn, we were airborne.
Yeah,
Going off the fucking expressway.
always a possibility. That was always a
Or the
possibility.
turnpike. Dude, Sean, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I retract my statement. I have actually experienced a long drive like that before.
You'd
Except
be petrified.
it was like
car.
3 hours. It
You'd
was
be
like an extra 3 hours, but it was just
Oh, where'd
like,
you go?
North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
it was
right.
like a
Outer
12-hour
Banks.
drive or so, like an 11-hour drive. But like
Could
it
make it an
just
8.
those drives, every time I go on them, they're just so aggravating because like you're always so uncomfortable because you got so much shit packed in your damn car. You're all bunched up. You got all your like luggage and pillows and blankets if you're going on like a vacation. And I'm always in the worst spot because I'm always the smallest person, so they got me stuck in like the middle parts of the car. So I'm in between everybody, and they're like, "All right, everybody sit." I'm like, I'm fucking uncomfortable as a motherfucker. So half the time when I go on these trips, I'm
They
always
should just
the
throw
most
you in the back with the
uncomfortable.
luggage.
Yeah,
and
you
shit,
know what? For all that, yeah, I agree. They should
Strap you to the fucking roof.
throw me in the
I usually get
fucking
the drive.
back.
Usually everyone lets me drive.
Yeah.
But
That's how I
yeah,
fix that.
that shit's a
I'm in the
It's either we'll get
cockpit.
there 2 hours earlier or we'll all die.
Yeah,
Either way,
it's,
whatever. Win-win.
And you get better gas mileage. So there's that.
There you go, man. So back to Maine.
Yeah.
So you did go to a hotel, but you were
was a
tent
resort, yeah.
camping, right?
No, I wasn't camping. I did go for that
Oh,
hike. I
okay.
did, yeah.
All right.
I went on that nature trail, which I didn't.
See,
I wasn't
I was
even
under the
supposed to do that.
impression you were tent camping in the wilderness By yourself? Or okay, all right.
Wilderness.
But I
Okay.
was in the wilderness. It was, dude. I'm telling you, I
So
was walking
your
on a river.
soul
It was
searching
crazy.
was at your
It was like a
fucking
little thin ice. It
5-star.
was
It
crazy.
just sounds
Your
funny.
5-star
I was literally
hotel.
walking on the river. I know.
That was your soul searching, your 5-star hotel in Bethel,
It wa-
Maine, snowboarding,
it
meeting
wasn't,
cool people at bars.
It
Snowboarding
was-
looks
it was
hard as
everything, dude.
fuck, dude.
Every single thing out there. Like I said, if you know the thoughts again, you go out there looking for answers, and I got some, which only led to more questions anyway. At the funny thing is, you get the answers you want, or your confirmations or whatever, and then it just leads to more. But yeah, so I was out there. I was spending time in nature. I went for that nature hike.
Yeah.
Which was weird because all I did was go out to take a smack, and I ended up like, I didn't want to stand around there because I didn't want any kids to see me, even though it's legal. But then I was next to a flammable thing that said flammable, no smoking. So I kept going, and the next thing you know, I was just like on this fucking walk, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. I didn't have my phone on me. I didn't have anything on me except for the note that Heather gave me, which I can show you guys. It's pretty funny because the picture that she drew in the note, I ended up finding a piece of nature that looked just like it. You would not.
Oh,
believe
get the fuck out of here.
yeah, and it was crazy because
That's nuts.
it was
dude.
weird. So she's great with astrology, and she hid this note in the last pair of
You
underwear.
have it
that I
on you
found.
right now?
I do. Sean, can you go and grab me my jacket, please?
Yeah, I want to see this
Yeah.
note. So what is it? We'll put it on the screen for everybody else who's watching. But what is it, like a scene?
So she hid this note in my underwear. she packed my bag for me.
So you're only showing us this note. You're not showing us the note where she said, "Fuck anybody and I'll kill you."
yeah, right. So here it is, right here, right.
What is it?
So she writes this note, and I find it this day,
Look
and
at
it's
that.
either Thursday or I think it's Friday.
All right.
It's Friday. It's Friday, and we just got that fresh powder. So I was actually supposed to leave
Oh,
Friday.
Jimmy James.
But so we get this fresh powder, right? So then I decided to book another night. Anyway, Friday morning when we get this fresh powder, I'm sitting at breakfast and I got this note. I picked out my underwear and this note fell out. And so she's like,
So you're not are you telling me you saw unicorns?
everything except for the unicorns, everything except for the unicorn, which from a certain perspective. But if you notice, it was the 10 of visions. It's interesting.
Oh, look at
So,
that.
if you
That's a really cool drawing. Shout out to you,
Yeah,
Heather.
that is. Shout out to Heather.
I get this note at breakfast. I go back and I'm really tired. We got fresh powder. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back to the mountain and I'm going to go take a nap because I'm really tired because I didn't sleep the night before. So I go and I get this joint that this guy gave me the day before, which was really cool. The guy I met at the bar.
Hey.
He just gave me a joint. I'm being dead serious.
That's cool,
So-
man. That's cool.
And it was weird.
There's some people out there that'll just do that kind of shit.
I
and
tell
they'll
you,
just
when
be
I
like,
tell you
"Oh,
things talk to you, it was like so I go after breakfast. I had this great breakfast. I had great breakfast there at Bethel Inn. I highly recommend it. Anyone would go, let me know. I know some people. So I go and I go out and I'm trying to smoke this joint, but I don't want to sit in front of everyone. So I go and I see this thing that says flammable. Don't go here. Boom. So I finally go a little further. Next thing I know, so she draws this picture and it's got this waterfall in the back. And I go on this hike. I put the joint away and I find this staff and I grab myself a nice big one. It's probably about 6 foot, nice big 6 foot staff. And because you got to understand, everything's covered in snow, and you don't know I don't know what I'm walking on. Eventually, I end up walking on a frozen river a little bit. I figure this out. So I go on this thing.
You should have brought that Jesus staff you got from Walmart.
I know this one's even better. This one's better
Yeah.
because it was bigger. I'm telling you, I probably looked funny. Like try imagining seeing someone smoking right on the side of this, on this golf course, and then all of a sudden you see me pick up a giant staff. And then I just start walking across into the woods. I'm like, what the fuck's up with this motherfucker? And so, but I go out and I find this stone wall. I think it might have been like a dam or something, but there was a river. I think it might have been Sunday River. And there's a picture in breakfast. I had this breakfast picture and there's a waterfall in the background, and I find this river that's rolling on itself. And it's a stone wall. It was man-made, but it was like real smooth though at the same time. So I climbed the wall.
Sounds like a nice place to smoke.
Dude, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it was crazy. I didn't, like I said,
Nice and
I didn't even expect to go on the walk. I only was just trying to smoke, go take a nap, so I can get ready to go snowboarding around like 3 or 4. I had a night ticket, and I didn't expect to go trekking and certainly rock climbing. And I ended up, so there's a rock in the middle of the river. At one point, the river is like only maybe 1.5 feet, so it wasn't too bad. But there's this rock there, so I jump over the river into this rock in the middle of the river. And then jump back to the other side. So I crossed the river. And I did this I found, I went on the other side of the retaining wall, climbed that wall up again. I'm using the staff to knock the snow off. So at first I looked like an idiot, right? But I'm using the staff to because you don't know what you're walking on. I'm literally was walking. It was the river was frozen, and there was a stream where you could see it coming through it, and then there was rocks and stuff. So I'm using the staff to see how deep it is. I'm using the staff to reach across it, like I said, it's a 6-foot staff. So I'm knocking the snow off the rock that I'm going to jump into. Everything's covered with about a foot of snow, so I don't really know what I'm walking. I can't really see what's in front of me. Everything's just white, soft, and it's beautiful. But I'm using a staff. I'm climbing up the wall. Then after I climbed this wall, I had to lean back down and grab the staff, pull it back up. I'm using a staff to knock the snow off as I'm trekking across this rock-built wall. And sure enough, I find this river that's rolling on itself. That it's not exactly a waterfall like this, but it's pretty darn close.
And you didn't bring your phone, right?
No,
so you couldn't take a picture.
It was, and again, and the card that she pulls for me is the 10 of Visions, and I was, and it's one of those things where even no matter how much I can try and explain it to you, it wasn't supposed to be. I wasn't supposed to capture it that way. Even this, I'm probably not even supposed to be sharing. But this all happened over breakfast. You know what I mean? I got this note, go on this walk, which I wasn't supposed to. I end up finding the scene in the freaking note, which is kind of weird. It's really nice. I end up crossing the river, like jumping back and forth. I find this log. I'm walking across I felt like, you ever see that ninja, those ninja courses? That's what I felt like I was doing, dude. It was crazy.
The Karate Kid.
Dude, it was, and at the one point, so the last one, and this is where I was crossing over the river, and I realized I'm on frozen because I could feel the water sloshing up under at my feet at this one part.
Sloshing.
It's
that's a good word.
It's I'm like, for the love of God, I'm trusting you right now to not fall through this ice. And it's not gonna, it's not like I'm gonna go under. It actually, when I put the deepest part was about 4 feet. And it was weird because it was only...
That's pretty deep for like a little stream, right?
What was really weird about it was that the gap wasn't very wide at all, but it was like I was crossing this tree that was falling over, and I'm like, and it was icy too, so I'm like, and I put the staff down just to see how far, and it was down, it pulled up. So out of the 6-foot staff, it had about 4 inches of water. 4 feet of water, and that's when I realized, like, holy shit, I am in the middle of a river on this log that's icy. I didn't realize at first, and that was the last time I crossed over. But I ended up crossing over 1, 2, 3, like a total of 4 to 6 times.
And who knows how deep that motherfucker got?
And it was very thin. Though. It was really crazy. So all that stuff happened. And then I still went and I did night boarding too. And it was the first time I read fresh powder. Which, if you've ever had fresh powder, it's
never been skiing, never been snowboarding.
It was beautiful. And
a lot of my family loves doing that shit. I've never been.
Didn't have to wait for anybody. Didn't have to slow down for anybody. I'm telling you, I got there. I got to the lift and I had to go to another one. So it was a long story with that too. I was diverted. So I only had an hour and 20 minutes to ride the lift, and I still got 10 runs in by myself, and I was bombing it. It was great.
Wow, old man.
Yeah, right?
Good.
Had a good time, man.
Yes. And then I came back down from the mountain. After that, going up there, it was free. It was crazy. Really, the first time in so long that to be up there, be a little selfish, I guess is the better way of saying it. I haven't been selfish in a while, I guess.
A little bit out of nowhere, but do you guys ever see that movie? I can't remember the name of it. Carter, if you can help me out, it's the movie where they are their nights skiing, and they're on the ski lift on their way out, and here the cabin or the club, they forgot that they were on the ski lift and shut everything down. So this couple, they're stuck on top of the ski lift in the middle of middle of the mountain.
I think I've seen that before.
And it's like I think one of them tries to jump off, and it's like all these wolves are like circling them and shit.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up movie, man.
I did see that before.
I always think about
that.
I always think about what it'd feel like to be jumping off of a lift. I wonder how far I could make it.
Well, this guy.
Anyone else curious about
this
those
guy
things?
lived. But he was wolf dinner, which must suck. You know what I mean?
Fuck that.
Come
dude.
get me.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, man. I always wanted to at least even if I didn't ski. What do you think's harder? Have you ever been skiing?
Skiing's much easier.
Much easier.
I've
Much
never
easier.
done
Yeah,
it.
snowboarding seems.
You know what's funny is the movie is actually called Frozen from 2010.
Oh,
wow.
Isn't there no
Okay.
copyright infringement there?
Well, I think the cartoon would have copied off of them. The cartoon didn't come out in
Cold
2010.
never bothered me anyway.
It would be copyright infringement if they
Which
were
one do you think
trying
is
to like
hotter?
make
Let
the
it
same kind
go.
of movie.
Oh, okay.
Let it go.
All right, smarty pants. Thank you.
The panda.
So.
Well, just your faith in disbelief as I wash them all away. I want you to dream of me tomorrow. I want you to know me tonight. I want you to see and follow. So just a ride, so high, is it my ride? Well, it's just a ride, so high, in my ride. Well, it's just a ride.
You know, like a little test run, you know. So says the band.
what I got out of this is Heather is a witch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nature witch. Yeah. So
Heather, you're a witch. Oh wait.
nature.
Whoa! What
She's
was
a
that?
goddess. She is a goddess. To be able to pull something off like that is pretty gosh darn incredible. So yeah, she's a goddess.
Heather is cool. I love her collard greens, man.
Yeah.
I went over to Jimmy's for dinner.
Turkey dinner.
Maybe a couple months ago now, right? And yeah, she made some banging food, dude.
It
Fucking
was a feast of
unique
feasts.
food.
Yeah.
What did Heather get to go on a walkabout?
When? Or
When did Heather get to go on a walkabout?
oh, so she went.
I said, when does Heather get
Oh.
to go on a walkabout?
Oh, yeah,
When are
when
you
does
going to
Heather
pack
get
her
to-
bags and
You're
write her
right.
a note and let her go for a week?
Actually, she went
Subtle
twice last year.
message.
She went twice last year. And actually, she went to Maine too. She went to Maine with family. It was for different reasons, but yeah, she went. Yeah.
Heather seems like she would really like do you think she'd like going somewhere by herself though? Like that?
Like she, yeah, what they did, yeah, and she, they went up to Maine, and she had a kind of a similar experience,
But you're saying she didn't go out by herself then.
Well, she went up with her sister and her brother, and they kind of, they each had time to themselves. You got to think about they were all separated at most. Sometimes
Yeah.
they come back together. Me, I was totally alone.
I've never been on a vacation by myself.
Yeah, it was great. It was
Just
great.
me.
Me neither.
Great.
Ever.
I'll tell you, man, I was
Except for
looking
like being laid over at an airport and having to stay at a hotel.
and if you don't do it on
fucking
purpose,
weird.
it's not the same thing. You don't get the same type of enjoyment out of it.
Oh man, I hate when that happens. That happens a lot with me. I don't know if you guys know. I'm kind of forgetful sometimes and kind of in the moment a
You've
little
sent
bit.
me to the wrong house for parties, though, all right?
All right.
Yeah, I think you did it
He
twice.
sent
You
him
did-
to my house.
You
Now-
sent me to the wrong party twice.
Listen. That first time, Sean, I don't know if you heard about this. I don't know how the fuck this shit happened. So Jimmy lives in South Jersey.
Normally about 30 to 35 minutes.
30 to 35 minutes. So we
I
were
think it was
all.
25.
It was 4th of July, and we were all at my brother Sean's house in Drexel Hill, which is like West Philly. And Jimmy wanted to come by. He had been there before, so it's kind of your fault too, a little bit, because you've been to that house.
I don't know which house you were
So he's like, "Oh, send me the address." I don't know how I did it. Because Sean's on James Street, right? And somehow I send this motherfucker Ricky Ortiz's address
across
in Levittown,
the other part. Yeah.
in Bucks County.
Why don't you just tell everyone where the fuck he lives, Jim?
Who?
You got his full name and the town he lives in. You might as well just go all out at this point.
Oh, exact address. Okay. No, I'm not doing that. Sorry, Rick. But Jimmy calls me,
With my friend, too, by the way.
and he's with his friend, and he goes, "Oh, I'm here," or whatever. I'm like, "Oh, I'm coming out." I was
Where?
like, I was like, "Oh, I'm out in the porch. Do you see me?" And Jimmy's like, "Porch?" And I'm like, he's like, "There's no porches on this block." And I'm like, I look at my phone. I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." No, I didn't just do this. I sent him in the complete opposite side of the fucking city. Complete opposite side. Hey, you were pissed, dude.
Nah,
You
with
were.
my buddy. I was with my
You
buddy.
were.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't. I mean, we weren't coming the other
I
way.
thought you were
that's
going to
for
come all the
sure.
way to Drexel Hill to punch me in the fucking
No,
mouth.
no. What did we do? I think we just went to another bar. It was my
Your
buddy.
friend lives in Northeast Philly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you went.
I went there first,
Yeah.
up and back. Yeah, and then I think we just went to a bar by his house, and yeah.
I
Good
felt like
buddy.
such an asshole, dude.
But that wasn't the only time.
Jim, I don't know.
To do with that
I don't know how I did it.
But wait, it gets better.
I
There's
don't
more.
know. I don't know how I did it. When was the second time?
Sent him to my house, didn't you?
I can't remember. I think we
Oh,
called it.
you live
we-
2 blocks away. What do you mean? I sent him
Well,
to
not-
your
no,
house
I-
instead of
it
my
was-
house?
It was a second. I can't remember.
Didn't you send somebody to my house by accident on Uber? You told me that one
Oh,
time.
I don't. It wasn't Jimmy.
Oh, it wasn't. It was somebody else.
I don't know how the fuck I did that.
You did
either.
something. You said something to my house by accident instead of your house or some shit like that or wherever else you were. And then they were like, "I'm here." You're like, "No, I don't see you." Oh, what? Fuck! I sent you to my friend Sean's house by
Yeah.
accident, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're an idiot."
Yeah, I need to get my shit together when it comes to that kind of thing. I live too in the moment, I think.
Moran.
Because, yeah, like flights, I act like, what? Like I'm a fucking billionaire or something. I'll be hanging out with my friends in other states. I'm like, oh fuck, my flight is about to leave in 45 minutes.
5 minutes.
And then I do this whole thing where I know I'm not going to catch the plane, but I still rush to the airport like the fucking Home Alone movie. The plane's gone.
Run, Rudolph.
Why am I doing that? I don't know. You know what I mean? Why am I even going to the airport? And then I'm acting surprised.
How much does it cost to get an next one? Like if you miss, what's the process?
So this particular time I'm talking about, I was in Orlando. My family was down there, and I went for the weekend in like fucking August. It was horrible. But I have friends that live in Orlando, so when I was leaving, I was like, shit, I might as well go visit my friend Nancy and JR and shit. So they live in Orlando. I go, I'm hanging out with them. We're all hanging out, and I remember it wasn't even me. Somebody was like, Jim, don't you have to like go home? I was like, whoa, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I should set alarms or something on my. I'm like, oh fuck, like yeah. Like I'm money bags or so. Oh fuck that next flight. No, but it wasn't that bad. It's totally my fault. You know what I mean? And I think I got like a flight. It was like the next morning for like $65 or something.
Okay,
like,
so
yeah.
this
So it wasn't that
your
bad.
transfer fee or whatever is like $65.
But then I didn't feel like yeah. So then
But
there was this whole thing where my phone was dead. Everybody in the airport was acting like I was a zombie, like had some sort of disease.
All them, I know.
People charging their
It's their
phones. I'm
fault.
literally walking up to people. I'm like, my phone's dead. I missed my flight. I'm trying to call my friends an Uber. I'm trying to call somebody. Can I use your people? I'm asking people if I can use their charger. They're not even answering me. They're just acting like I'm not talking, like I'm not there.
Fucking rude.
Like, and
I hate when people do that. At least have the common decency.
This
to just
reminds
say
me of
I've
that-
seen a lot of people do that to like homeless
No.
people. Like maybe they thought I was like, I don't know, but yeah.
Well, you
they were
don't know
just
what you
acting
look like.
Fucking
You don't
asshole.
know what you look like. I mean, listen.
I probably look like a lunatic. You know, I'm still like soaking. That was the other thing. I was swimming too, so I'm rushing to the airport. I'm still like wet. Fucking
You're
ridiculous.
sweating. And then
So-
you're on some fucking junkie trying to ask them a question.
I go to the gift
Here's
shop.
your phone, man.
Hit
and
that ball over your head.
that was the other thing.
Tennis game's over.
I go to the gift shop and I have to buy a charger, and you know the airports. I probably spent like $50 fucking on a charger. You know what I mean? And I could have probably went and stayed with my friends, but I didn't even feel like doing all that. I just kind of got a hotel right by the
They
airport.
threw him out.
Which was another $100 and something. You know what I mean? I stayed at like this nice ass Marriott. And I usually don't do that. I usually stay at like, you know, shittier hotels. What about
We're in the AC, and the bed
the
bugs. or
Econo
some shit.
Lounge?
Jesus Christ. I'm glad I wasn't
Speaking
there
of
for
which,
that.
Sure.
taste when you come to my place and you hold on to me and there's love with my ears. I can see it in your face, I can hear it in the space, I can smell it from the way you brush your No, it's not a friend that can take your time for me. I want it fast. You come for me and I want your name. Control me. Flash a little smile and just show me. You know me, will you owe me? Flash a little skirt up and jump on me.
I had that fucking problem before at my house. That shit does not go away easy.
Oh God, they're the worst. And
Fuck them.
Jimmy, it
Did
was
I give you guys money back for that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was your birth. It was Jimmy's 40th, and we went to see. It was your 40th. Yeah, yeah.
You have
It
a
was,
vlog of this, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. One of my vlog episodes on this channel is about. It was like my second one. We went to see Gary G, who was on Seriously Unimportant. Really cool dude. We love
Shout out
hanging
to
out
him.
with that guy, and I do want to get to that story too, because that's funny.
Yeah, how I met him was funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Jimmy's like, oh, there's this comedian Gary G. He's at the AC Comedy Club in Tropicana. He's like, you guys gotta come out. I'm celebrating my birthday, and we're getting like this. He tells us to get like the VIP ticket things, and me and Carter were like, okay, we'll do that. I'll tell you what. When I first sat down, I kind of felt like a douchebag. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Because it's like this
You
whole
felt
club.
like a big shot. Just sitting
Yeah,
down
it's like this whole club of me, Carter, Jimmy, Heather. We're in these fancy fucking couches and shit, with like a coffee table in front of us, fucking
Right in front of
waitress
the runway,
service.
Yeah.
like,
It was fun, and we're right in front of the
it's all us
comedians.
now, bitches.
They really didn't fuck with us like I thought they were going to, and I thought they were really gonna.
Well, they had that group.
Fuck
Of,
with
they had
us.
that group of crazy women or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
And
If
the
they
guys-
weren't there,
something
Oh,
was
Lord.
going on in the
Jim,
crowd.
what
It
was that?
weird.
It was guys from New York on one
Yeah,
side and
talking
chicks
to
from
the-
Philly, and they were all arguing and yelling at each other the whole time. Yeah, the comedians had a great time with that shit.
Unprecedented night.
We
How
they
fun.
sang "Happy Birthday" to you. The one guy, that was it was a really fun night. Then we
I
all
did get
ended up-
recognized by 2 out of 3 comedians though with my Ghostbusters shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were wearing the Ghostbusters shirt.
nice.
That was fun. That was you did. Yeah, it was like 3. Yeah, 2. It was the first guy and the second guy. Gary G didn't talk about your Ghostbusters shirt.
He did that.
Gary G has actual shit to talk about.
Yeah, he's not an audience comedian. by
I
any
think I've
means.
seen him 3 times now in total because we saw him again
Yes.
in Philly.
in Philly. But
Yeah.
before I get, because I did want to talk to that about you. I did want to talk about that story. When we were in AC, so me, Jimmy, and Carter, we all started drinking back at the hotel. Everybody else is kind of going to sleep. We end up, we went to the beach.
Oh, yeah,
At
yeah,
like
yeah.
what time
Forgot
was
about
that?
that.
Like
Forgot all
fucking-
about that.
It was late. Then 3 in the morning.
Yep,
Then we went and got like
That seems
burritos
fun.
or taco bowls and
Damn, that seems fun at like 3 in the
cafeteria.
morning going to the fucking.
Oh, we were
beautiful.
having a fucking
It was
blast
beautiful
till
out
somebody
there.
called me and was like, "We have bed bugs in our room."
Oh, yeah.
my
Your
God.
cousin, right?
Yeah, my cousin and
Chas
I'm
and
like,
Bree.
yeah, Chas and Bree was there too, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So we're all schmangled and fucking rushing back.
Schmangled.
You guys slept in a car. The girls slept in a
They
car.
slept.
Yeah, you guys.
I slept with the bed bugs.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was not sleeping in any
Fuck
fucking
you.
car. I said,
Sleeping
take
in a
this sheet
comfortable
off.
bed.
Fuck this.
They had
I'll
false
burn my
advertising.
clothes. I don't care.
I don't get that. False
Oh, you were
advertising.
pissed about that.
You know, they were advertising free breakfast, right? So they're still advertising. It's during COVID, and then they say, "Well, no, it's COVID said no." Well, then take the fucking sign down. But you're still false
Yeah,
advertising.
why is the sun dead? Oh, Jimmy was so pissed about that. That
Morons.
was the next morning too. Remember, we all thought we were having fucking
We had a fight with him because of-
continental breakfast.
And were they locking us out too? Like we were trying to get in to explain about the bed bugs, and the guys
Yeah.
weren't like.
No, what happened was you and
Yeah.
Carter were like
We were pretty mad.
were yelling at the guy, and
He's like,
I'm
"Well,
kind of
that's
just
time or
standing.
something."
I'm kind of just standing there all drunk,
But we were-
and then these girls
No.
girls come in.
Jimmy's just sitting there.
These girls come in and they're like all talking about the bed bugs and refunds and all this other shit. These girls come in all drunk from like the casino, getting their room keys, and the guy goes to Jimmy. Here's, can you keep it down about the bed bugs? Like customers.
yeah,
Carter,
Excuse
what-
giving me
man.
back some money, right?
That's when
'Cause-
You don't
that's
wanna
when
stay
Carter
here.
lost
Yep.
his shit.
yeah.
Fuck that.
we were like,
What?
don't stay here.
Yeah, don't
There's
stay
bed
here.
bugs in our room.
They were like, "See you later." They were out.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
chicks left.
And we went up. Fucking that.
I
That
was like,
guy.
"I'll be here all night. I'll be here all night, bud."
The one thing with the
Glad I was
hotel, the
not
maid,
there.
I
I'm
left.
glad I was not there.
I left my laptop in the because they did give us another. That's what it was. We didn't sleep with the bed bugs. They put us in a different
The
room.
girls did. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
they weren't staying in that.
They
room
were.
At
I'm
all.
pretty sure they stayed in the.
Yeah, but they stayed up all night because Bree was actually just telling me about this. They were sleeping in the car like idiots in Atlantic City. You know what I mean? Which isn't the nicest area
Oh, yeah,
at
they
that
got
time
people,
of
they
night.
got people working that lot there.
Yeah.
Yep.
She had like a homeless person knocking on the window of the car and shit,
Oh
asking
my-
them for $1 or
Oh my god.
a cigarette or something at like 4 in the
I would have
morning. you know?
fucking flipped. I'd have been
Yeah.
like, "Yo, leave me the fuck alone, man. I'm trying to sleep. Obviously, I don't got no fucking smokes. Leave me the fuck alone. Go away."
You can't be knocking on the
Piss
car
off.
door with two women in the
Yeah.
car like that. You just
Yeah,
Fucking,
can't do that.
that's a
exactly.
big red
That's just
flag,
stupid,
my guy.
But yeah, we brought all of our shit from one room, and Bree and Chas, they were great. They did all the laundry
Oh yeah, before
for
that,
us. Yeah, and when the maid, the cleaning lady, I left my laptop in the old room, and she actually brought it back.
Oh, cool.
Which
There
I
you
thought
go.
was really.
Yeah, my
That's cool.
grandmother's a
That
maid.
was
My
chill,
grandmother's a maid in one of those, and she worked in two. Excuse me, two motels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What, an
still
AC?
No, not an AC.
just-
in
okay, got
Red
you.
Roof Inn and in Williamstown or on the 42. And
Oh, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. My grandma was one of those crazy women, man. Crazy.
I did not
crazy.
know your grandmother
She's
worked
yeah,
in the
that
hotel.
and Taco Bell. She's one of those. So you be nice to those old ladies, please.
Yeah.
You guys out there, be nice to those old ladies. They're someone's grandparents.
She works
Yeah.
at Taco Bell.
Yes, she does.
I'm gonna fucking marry her.
She's got like two. Listen, good luck with that, buddy. That's all you. She's a wicked woman.
I just want
She's
free
a-
tacos.
Listen, you got
Taco
more than you
Loco.
bargained for.
He's in it for the tacos,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah,
doesn't know what he's in
Taco
She'll
for.
put everything under the blood of Jesus Christ, and you'll be like, man, I don't want that taco anymore.
You'd be surprised what I'll deal with for tacos.
We don't even know where tacos live.
The next day was pretty fun. After Jimmy was done flipping the fuck out about the continental breakfast, we went on the boardwalk to get breakfast. We had cheesesteaks for breakfast on the boardwalk. But we're just like we the tram car goes by, and what does it say? I fucking forget now. We have the recording. I'm gonna play it in.
I was, yeah.
Please step aside or enjoy a ride.
And I have this. Can you get the step aside one more time?
Please step aside or enjoy a ride.
And apparently neither one worked. Thank you. Buddy.
I was trying to get the guy. I was trying to walk in front of it so that they tell you to
Yeah.
get out of it, or it was like watch the or get out of the way or something. But like I was.
I'm gonna play it on
I was
here.
purposefully trying to make them like, I was being an asshole, I guess. And then after like, I don't know, after like 20 minutes of going up and down, we just like stopped. Guy, I was like, listen, can you just push the button? so we can hear it.
No, you fucking the cheetah motherfucking Jimmy over here. I'm like, yeah, let's chase after tram cars. He starts fucking darting down the boardwalk. Like, he's gone. I was like, Jim, guess what?
trying to be
Like you
Conspicuous.
said, race. All right.
I am not running a mile with you
Ow.
to chase this. But we did end up finding one. Well, we got another one, but some of them only had like regular horns or whatever. It was something with Enjoy the Ride. It was I forget. But it was really cool. For some reason, we just wanted to get a recording. I think Jimmy still has to use it in one of his songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
Coming
a good day.
soon.
Some asshole purposely left French fries on a trash can so all the seagulls
Oh, that was crazy. Yeah.
would come down.
Didn't
Fuck
didn't,
them
didn't
seagulls.
Carter had some sort of Tetris thing with the boxes trying to get into a bag? It was like wasn't it like a bet or something he won? I think he bet him he couldn't like organize the bag, and he did. It took him it was like what, I don't know. It took about 4 or 5 minutes, but he put together that puzzle piece. It was real nice. It fit nice.
Well, me and Carter were just talking about this shit. Speaking of Gary G, when we went to see him in Philly, right? We get to this area in Germantown, which is not the nicest neighborhood for those who don't know, and it's like this fucking fake, like little. It reminded me of what do you call it? The Interview with James Franco. Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Where it's
movie.
like they have the show for them coming, and they like it's a perfect little town that they live in, but here it's all fake.
Yeah.
Fake shops.
Eminem comes out as gay.
Because the street, it wasn't like a normal street. It was like three.
like a courtyard.
It was weird. It was like 3 streets that came together, and we were in the middle of this, and it didn't look like it was wide enough to hold any buildings, but we were in a building that was in this middle street, and it was like a little church thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was super
You ever
weird.
see that movie Pleasantville?
No.
No, I have not.
That's what it felt like. Just a fake
Yeah,
ass little town.
look, very
yeah,
fake,
yeah,
very
yeah.
weird, very weird. And we go in, and it's like it's like one of those places. It's like comedy show today, and then for the rest of the week, it's like AA meetings and
Yeah.
like some sort of religious service
Some
is held
Democratic meeting house or something. They rented out.
there. We didn't know where we were, and I remember we all wanted a drink, and Gary G said he was going to try to get us margaritas from the thing. Oh no, I asked.
We
He
go to
was
his
like, I was
car.
like, go grab us some margaritas. He was like, I got margaritas in my trunk.
Yeah.
We go out. He has a fucking 2-liter of Sprite, a big bottle of Tito's. We're all drinking mixed drinks in the parking lot.
Oh my
It's
God.
fucking funny as shit.
That sounds good.
He is hilarious, Gary G though, man.
Shout
He does
out
a
to
good
him,
job.
buddy.
He does
Shout
a
out
very
to
good
Gary
job.
G.
So Jim, what do you got going on with your music, man? When you were
Yeah,
on
your
this
new band.
this Mercy's Revenge is not a new band. Oh wait, you are in a cover band too.
Yeah, sometimes why.
We did
yeah,
talk about
sometimes
that,
why.
yeah.
Yep.
And then we got Mercy's Revenge, which we're still
Still waiting for it.
yeah,
I'm about
still-
halfway done. I think. So we're gonna try something new tonight. I got 4 of the songs recorded and copywritten.
Yeah.
I got the next 3 drum tracks ready to go. And what happens is I take those drums back into my house. I kind of figure out what I'm gonna do, and then I go back into the studio. So far the 4 songs, I'm probably somewhere around 1,500 in already, close to $2,000 probably with getting those 4 done. But the process is getting better. It's getting faster. Right now I've got Richie DiCarlo on the drums. It's been amazing working with him. Really easy.
Yeah, he seems like a really cool
Dude,
guy.
I mean, the first time we did it, we knocked out 5 songs in like 3 hours. Then we did these next 3, which I'm only going to keep 4 out of those 5. The next 3 we did in about an hour and a half too. So we knocked out 3 songs in about an hour and a half, less than 2 hours. It was probably 2 hours when you set up all the setup, but yeah, so about halfway done.
Real quick, Mercy's Revenge. We need a bassist, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So
Badass
Flea,
bass.
if you're listening,
Pumped, man. Pumped.
Let's go. On
Les
the travel,
Claypool,
baby.
whoever, come on audition for Mercy's Revenge.
Let's do it.
In Jersey.
Next one up. Come on down.
Yeah. So when you were on your by yourself vacation, you did write a couple songs, right?
Yeah. I started writing some new music. I'm excited about that. It's
We're gonna hear some of them in a little bit. Are you gonna play one of them? Or what? You got it ready or no?
Not
ready yet?
Not ready
Ready?
yet. Yeah, not ready yet. But it's.
Okay.
I tell you what, I was playing the riffs earlier.
Yeah,
so I
they
can
were
goof
cool,
around.
yeah.
You know, I
Did
can
sound
play a little
pretty good,
riff.
man.
Oh, I can't wait for these to come out, man.
Yeah, it's exciting.
You gonna name one of them Soul Searching?
Maybe. I was actually going to call it Sunday River. You know, you think the idea of what a river, you know, and what most people probably use it, but yeah, I was going to think
Heather's drooling.
Sunday River. Listen, you can't, you know.
Inspiration.
What do you call it?
Please name a song "Carter is a God."
Carter is a god. So says the panda.
So Mercy's Revenge, we're still, you know, looking for the bassist, which has been an ongoing thing. You know, even though Jimmy's dad is a fucking really good bassist, he just doesn't want to hire him for his band.
He is.
Sorry, Dad.
Well, here's the thing. Well, you look.
He's a crowd pleaser too.
He is. But here's the thing: when you hear what I did on these, you know, on these tracks, the idea is there should be, you know, that's the level it needs to be at, or more, and that's what a real bassist is supposed to do. So, you know, if he can take the time to do that, but it's got to be to that level.
Yeah.
That's what it's got to be, at least.
So I know you did want to play some music and shit, but I wanted to ask. So you got the, you know, Jimmy has 3 kids, and I wanted to ask you, dude. So, yeah, 1 daughter and 2 sons.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
So, do you favor your daughter or what?
She was my firstborn, and she, you know, she definitely.
Yes.
Yes. No hesitation.
She's,
Just,
you know,
yeah.
you know, she was my firstborn. You know, she's, you know, I remember her looking up at me one time, and she's just like, "Yeah, let's go on this adventure," and she's just got that eyes. You know what I mean? And all my kids are really adventurous. So
your kids have the widest fucking eyes I think I've ever seen. They're like fucking like everything's new. Like
they're driving at 100 miles an hour. Like they're driving at 100 miles an hour. Like,
Anime
this is fun. I gotta pay attention to this, man. I gotta pay attention.
They got anime eyes.
So go ahead. Continue.
So my daughter, yeah. So you were saying about my daughter, yeah. So, you know, when people ask about, you know, the idea of, you know, how do you deal with your daughter, and how do you know, what do you do about boys, right? You know, you hear classic stories, you know, you got your classic.
That's always the one.
Right? Chastity belt. I'm gonna hide her away from the world. You know, this and that.
Lock her in a tower.
It's crazy, right? It's really. And I thought about this, and because, you know, Heather said, "What are you gonna do? You know, how you?" And Heather's like, Heather shook her butt in front of me, in front of the kids. Like, "Yeah, the kids are right there." She's like, you know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh man." Yeah. So she asked me, "What am I gonna do?" You know, it's interesting. So I thought about it. And the only thing I could really think of, you know, because you can try and curb and control them, and I think it's my what I figured is the best thing I could do is set as best an example of what I think a guy should be. So if she's around me the most, if I set the best example, she's going to do one of 2 things. You're either going to say, "I don't want anything like that guy," or "I want to have someone like that." So that's kind of what it is. And I think that's it. When I thought about it, I can't control, I can't say no. I just got to hopefully act in such a way that she thinks that that's the type of person that she wants.
How old is she now?
She is 8. So my kids are 6, 7, and 8.
Wow.
All right. Well, that maybe like you know, soon start like taking her out on dates.
No. Oh, you mean
no,
as
a
you
father
and
and daughter
Yeah,
date,
you
you know what
and
I
her.
mean?
No.
You kind of
I do.
Fuck that.
We do.
you fucking schmucks. Don't listen to them.
I see what you're saying.
But like, you know, you take her out, you show her what a gentleman acts like. You know what I mean? Show her how she should be treated, and she'll pick up on that. You know what I mean? And she won't settle for less.
Yeah, she's
That's a good idea.
person. It's tough, man. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? And
She won't put
All
up
you
for
can do is
shit.
love them.
Yeah,
Girls,
you
all you can
know.
do is love them. You can't do nothing else.
You know,
man, she
think
won't
about
put
that.
up for
all
nobody's
you
shit.
people out there, all you kids out there, all you people that have kids out there, you got to think about. They're either and when you're that young, all the way up until at least the age of 10, you doesn't matter whether you're good or bad. They think that's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter what you
real
do,
shit.
not until you get to a certain age, you kind of discern what's right and wrong. So if you're, you know, if you want to be thug, you want to be tough, you want to be this, you want to talk.
What
you
mommy and
wanna
daddy
be-
does, that's
you know
what
I mean?
that's what they
and,
go
and that's
off
what
of,
they
yeah.
expect, you know, and that's what they expect. It's funny, actually. One of the stories I'm gonna tell you real quick. I met this couple. out up in Maine, and the woman talking right at me. You know the guy from National Lampoons, the brother-in-law. That guy's
he's fucking great.
Oh, he's great. That was the husband I met, not the actor, but like so the husband's
what
like.
What the fuck's his name again? Shit.
Randy Quaid.
He's a great actor. Love Randy Quaid. So I met this couple on the corner of the bar, and I was introduced by a couple I met earlier there. So she's, come over here, sit next to us, and meet these guys. We just met them. I met the other couple earlier that week, so she invited me on the corner. So the husband's like is hammered, right? He's like fucking, and he's that guy. He's like that guy in the movie. He's like, and he's great, and the wife is like, she's definitely the one in control. And the first thing, because this is going back to what I'm talking about being parents and things like that. Now I'm not going to mention their names, but the guy, I could really see what was going on. He was really hammered. He was upset. Not really upset, but it was like, the first thing he said to me, he goes, so, the mom's bragging a little bit. She's got 3 daughters, and he's like, yeah, they don't respect me. And he's like really hanging over his beer, and he's really serious, but he's kind of like made a joke, but like that was the truth. That was the first words that came out of his mouth, and I'm listening to this very stern woman again talking about playing the game of tennis. You like playing. She would like take the ball and run. I'm like you're not really good at this thing. Like I can tell you want to play with me, but you're playing in a way that's not very comfortable.
Right. And
I realized what happens is she's a total bitch and kind of controlling, and she doesn't respect him. So the 3 daughters don't respect him. And it was really the truth that came out. I mean, but and I was talking to this woman trying to have this conversation. She kept just taking the ball and like just running away with it in middle of conversation. I'm like, I've been here for a week. I've been loving. You're not and I can see what's going on. I feel bad for the guy, but it's important. It's important again how so the daughters are thinking that that's the way you should treat someone, or at least that man, and that's his father. And their kids were 2, 4, and 5, and he said they don't respect me. That was the first thing he said. It was like, well, guess what mommy does? She don't respect him. And that's what these 3 girls are learning. And they're going to be tough. I mean, I was having a conversation, and then I started messing with it. I was just like, at one point, I was just like, I don't even
steer away from it.
It was weird. So, but that goes back to being a parent, and at that age, whether you're right or wrong, that is what they think is that's what they're gonna that's that foundation. So coming back to reality, if you coming from this place of source and this is the first thing you're learning, well, I felt really bad for that dude. But it was good to see.
Yeah, it's a sucky thing to see.
It is. But it was under. It's good to. It's good to learn from other experiences like that. It helps me. It helps me in my relationship. I think that we. I really do. I tell you, Heather is a goddess, and I think. We feed off of each other. If we weren't both getting better, I think I would definitely be, I wouldn't be as interested in being in a relationship, but we are both getting better. Say I'm 40 years old, but fuck, man. You know what I'm trying to say? No, I'm saying I ain't trying to be no 40. Jesus. I'm still trying to get better, and learning and all that stuff. So it's,
That's what's up, man. All right.
You gotta show off your cool belt, dude. What the hell?
Oh, she got that. Everything, pretty much everything. Belt, all my stuff is from her. The braid in the back of my hair is from her. The belt's from her. We sewed these pants. On actually, I did these ones.
Your fucking thing, your bracelets. Does that deflect bullets?
Actually, it's funny you say that. I was telling her that I could, if I do it right, I could deflect one bullet right here.
Okay. Yeah.
Or smash. Yes. But I thought about that.
All right, well, real quick, let me come in really quick and ask a question here, Jim. Since you're, in like 2 bands, what inspired you to do music in the first place? Was it your dad, or was it like any band that you were like growing up on?
I mean, it was the lifestyle. Interestingly enough, rock and roll, in my opinion, is a lifestyle, not just a genre of music. It's a way of living. Kind of much, we didn't have a house. We were always, I was in a very unique situation. My mother was 15. My father was 16 when I was born. And my mom being Italian and all that, they kind of gave me up. And my crazy grandmother, who Rick Carter's going to marry, came in, and I was supposed to be given up for adoption. She came in. She goes, I'm putting this baby under the blood of Jesus Christ. Anyone touches this baby, you're all going under blood. And I tell you what, and I tell you what, everyone was like, papers were signed. I was supposed to be given up. But back to what you're saying. So because of that, my father's 16, now, so he's always 16 years older than me. And he was always in music. We never had a place to live. We always lived with other people. There was always music around. It was a lifestyle and how we lived. And there was always music playing. So I don't remember any of my teachers' names because school was boring. You went home on a Tuesday and it was like all kinds of normal dysfunctional domestic violence on a regular basis, and that was rock and roll. And you lived it, you got up and you did it again. Everyone that was in the environment were, body men, guys that really, worked to the bones, and it was a total lifestyle. So it's just something I grew up in.
Yeah, and that's something like fucking a lot of people like that rock lifestyle, especially like you hear about some of these famous like Anthony Kiedis, for instance. Growing up in that party lifestyle, being so young. Fucking around, and the rock lifestyle and the music scene, usually you're around a lot of drugs and alcohol and shit like that. Yeah.
It's like it's a reoccurring theme for rock and roll.
Yeah.
But it's a part of history, and there's a lot of bands out there that like have gone through all of this, like, and then nobody.
And the
would,
fans, not just the bands. It's also not just the bands and the fans, because it's all the people that we, it's a certain type of people. Not just, you know what I mean? There's always music involved, whether you're part of the band or going to see the band.
Fans, it's what it's all about.
It is. It really, really.
And obviously, like children, like you were saying before, like parents do have a huge influence on kids. Obviously, whether you grow up in the Brady Bunch or you grow up in a fucking crazy drug rock lifestyle, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like the parents are a huge influence on your life.
Number
obviously,
one.
What you see your parents do, or the adults that are there, is what you learn by. That's what you think normal life is, like you said, until you're like 10 years old, making your own decisions. But it's I think each individual person, I always say, and it is true, for real, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's like, I think each individual person has to take everything and either use it for good and fucking use that, everything you learn, the bad shit, the good shit, everything, and make it good and use it in life.
It's funny you say that.
Or you just bury yourself.
I was saying that to the dude up in the mountain, the guy that gave me the joint. I was like, poverty makes strong people. Now, some of them use it and become good, and use it and become self-sufficient, business owners. And then sometimes it makes people tough thugs too. You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, it makes them tough. Poverty makes people tough. Whether or not you decide to use it, for good or bad, like you were saying, is exactly the question. And I was lucky to be surrounded by some goofy shit where I've got this theory that when I was around people doing speed and all this stuff as such a young kid, that when you're doing drugs together, you gotta get on a certain wavelength. Well, as a child, I wasn't doing the drugs, but I feel like I was still getting on the wavelength without taking the drugs, which I think accelerate, it gives my brain fires like really crazy like that. So I think that's one of the advantages. So, it's weird, I didn't have a mom, and if I did, I wouldn't have been in that environment. I wouldn't have developed the way I did. And it's all about I was surrounded by people just going nuts, but I kind of learned, and because of it, I kept my health. I know not what to do. I know what not to do. I kind of, I've dabbled a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I can still have a lot of fun without getting, going too crazy overboard. I can still hang out 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't necessarily have to be doing anything to do that. You know what I mean? I've done that. I remember being in senior week, man. I was hanging out with a bunch of kids. Remember my buddy was playing hacky sack, and he was so wired. The ball kept on going up. He just kept on grabbing it. I'm like, dude, we're trying to kick it. You can't use your hands. But I was the one that was sober. While we're all hanging out. Kind of speeding around. So, yeah, that's where so that's my background on rock and roll.
Fucking A, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up.
Well, dude, Jimmy, I think we're going to wrap up the show today.
Cool, man.
Thank you so much. Like I said, 3 times seriously unimportant guest. Fucking first, that Talking Jawn guest.
Hell yeah, man.
It's always a pleasure to have you on, man.
I can't, you know what? Think about how many times we hung out. Who knows what else we're going to do, man. I'm telling you, we got to get a map.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get a map and just go see a bunch of cities, man.
Fucking A, dude.
Let's do it. Let's see what happens, man. Bring the Go Cam and see what happens, man. Let's all have some fun, all right?
Yeah.
I'll see you guys out there.
And I'm going to link all Jimmy and Mercy's Revenge information down in the link and the description of this video. Make sure everybody likes this video, subscribes to our channel. Way more content coming. Thank you all, and good night.